Hey gang, welcome to another edition of Doc Schlock by Request, where it's a review of the movie Day of the Animals, and this one comes to us from fellow YouTuber James Hayes. Well, it's pretty much another one of those environment has somehow gone wrong and there's some radiation happening kind of movies that in this case has turned the world's animals into crazy, out of control animals, I guess. So, there's supposed to be a hiking expedition going on in this movie, and it's led by a man named Steve. And he's going to try and take along a bunch of hikers named McGregor, Frank, Mandy, Shirley, Johnny, Paul, Bob, Beth, Roy, Terry, and Daniel. Well, amidst all this going on, people around this little California wooded area are kind of noticing that dogs and all kinds of animals are acting funny. And then the next day, the animals just start plain attacking people, left and right. And there are animals that, well, honestly, would probably expect them to kind of attack people. So, yeah. And so the animals just do what they're supposed to do, and they do this for about a whole 24 hours, give or take, something like that. And then eventually, the next day, after this 24 hours of animal attacks, the only survivors are Shirley, Johnny, Beth, a little girl, Steve, Terry, and Daniel. National Guard, the Army, somebody like that, comes to rescue them and make sure that they're all okay. And all the animals that were going on a crazy rampage, well, you can pretty much guess what happened. I mean, one day they're attacking people, the next day, yeah. Let's just say they're just not doing it anymore. And the movie ends with what appears to be an eagle flying at the camera. So maybe not all the animals were not doing what they were doing anymore. The movie starred Christopher George, Linda Day George, Leslie Nielsen, yes, Leslie Nielsen, Richard Jekyll, and Andrew Stevens. So why did this movie suck? Well, after the movie The Birds came out, it seemed like every Hollywood studio wanted to kind of do their own version of animals attacking for no apparent reason, or just animals attacking style movies, and the 70s were full of them. I think another reason why this movie was not particularly that good was because Leslie Nielsen, who's, well, when I grew up on Leslie Nielsen, I knew him to do movies like, funny movies like Airplane and, of course, the Naked Gun trilogy. And I see him in this movie, and I'm just like, oh my god. And apparently, the radiation just completely makes the guy go from jerk to super jerk. To where apparently he attacks a woman, and then a grizzly bear says, hey buddy, pick on somebody your own size, and let's just say it doesn't end very well. I remember seeing this movie years ago on Super Scary Saturday, hosted by Grandpa Munster, aka Al Lewis, or however which way you want to say that. And I was kind of shocked that they edited out a lot of the violence in the movie, but some of the stuff they did leave in, I'm sitting there kind of going like, wow, that's pretty intense. Though it's not a movie as good as The Birds, That's about all I can say about it. It's a pretty bad movie. Like I said, there were a lot of these animals attack movies in the 70s and in the 80s and the 90s, and I think they're still doing them to this day. But if there's a movie that you guys should go check out, it's a movie called Rise of the Animals. It's goofy, it's silly, the gore in it is just so overwhelmingly hilarious, and the special effects may not be great, but it's a good, fun movie, and not to be taken very seriously. But there you guys have it, a review of Day of the Animals. And by the way, if you want to see Rise of the Animals, I think it should still be on the Kings of Horror channel. Special thank you to James Hayes for his request, and well, maybe one of these days he's going to get some videos up on his channel. When he does, well, hope you guys go check him out. And of course, if you like my videos, always feel free to subscribe, and however you feel about this movie, let me know in the comments below. If you got a horror, sci-fi horror, comedy horror, or fantasy horror movie that felt like it took more than a day to watch, send it my way and I will get on it ASAP. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching. And until next time, as always, stay strong and rock on.